Ian Parra, welcome back to Metalcore Nerds, my friend. How are you
What's
doing?
up? It's been too long, man. How are you?
It's been a minute. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
good.
I think it's been like a year since we last had a conversation.
Yeah, maybe two. I'd have to check back on the actual date, but it might be two. A lot has changed for you in this last year or two. You're no longer in a
Yeah.
band, but I will say I'm very stoked for what you've done on like Instagram and stuff. You've built quite a following over there. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's been a crazy I wouldn't say crazy, it's just like when you the repercussions of when you put your opinion out into the public, it's like the silliest things. Like there was like the Scream 7 debacle
Yep.
where I said Scream 7 was shit. And I think more people like disagreed with me, but disagreed to the point where I legitimately got a few death threats because I said the movie was bad. And like I'm not even like important, you know what I mean? But like
I
that was
know.
the start of like a major growth in my page, and I just kind of just ran with it.
I've experienced similar things on Facebook. People get really weird about your opinions when they don't agree with
Yeah,
it.
definitely, dude. And like if you look at the Scream franchise and you just generally like look at all the movies like together, like those type of horror movies like are not good, but they're just meant to like just have fun and just like watch like a slasher flick, you know what I mean? But like the cult following that movie has is like the craziest part. I later then experienced like just horror fans in general are like very loyal to their franchises.
Hmm. I mean, I'm a big Scream franchise guy personally. I thought the new one was fine. There were some parts I really liked. There were some parts I didn't like. You know, it's I think it's near the bottom of my Scream rankings.
Yeah.
Um, I think Scream One is no joke a revolutionary horror movie. I think it
No,
like
yeah, that movie's great. Yeah.
yeah, and it did a lot for the genre, especially the subgenre of slashers. You know, it kind of recontextualized that whole type of horror movie. And
Yeah.
it, the one thing Scream has made me do, because I did not watch the new Scary Movie, because the older I got, because I remember loving like Scary Movie 1 and 2 when I was younger, just because they're so fucking dumb. But the older I got, the more I realized I was like, Scream's already like a meta thing. Why did they make a meta thing about a meta thing? That's kind of really dumb. It's
Uh
kind of so stupid when you
Scary
really
movie.
think about it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, Scary Movie. I went into that hoping I would get like Scary Movie 1 and 2, and it definitely was pretty bad. And like the whole thing they ran on it with the like, oh, we're gonna piss Gen Z off. Gen Z makes the same jokes. Like I don't know why it's like this big thing for like, oh, we're gonna offend everyone. Like
Yeah, even the trailer, I was kind of like, some of this is kind of funny. The rest of it is kind of like trying too hard to cross that line, but it's just not crossing the line. It just seems stupid, you know?
yeah,
And I was like, so by the time it came out, I was like, I don't even care to go and try and see this. Maybe I'll watch it when it goes on streaming eventually. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really think I
yeah.
have a care for it, to be to be perfectly honest. I'd rather watch something more worth my time, I guess. There was something that we didn't do last episode, because since you've been on the show's kind of taken a new shape, and it's become more conversational and less, specific on what we're talking about. The one big question I like to ask to start things off is, for you, in the realm of pop culture and everything, was there a certain show, movie, video game, book, comic book that kind of made you fall in love with pop culture when you're younger? Is there like a certain kind of linchpin moment that really ignited everything for you? Do you have anything like that?
If there's something I reference like all the time, it's The Simpsons. And
Mm,
I've been watching The Simpsons since I was born. Like it's
right.
it's trippy that show's like going into its like 40th season. Anything from like that first like 10 seasons I reference like all the time. Like I was just talking to someone the other day about like the episode where Homer like crashes into he like jumps the gorge, and then he's in the ambulance and he crashes and he just falls, and he's falling multiple time. I reference like stupid shit like that on that show all the time. All those like early like animated series like Batman, Spider-Man, X-Men, like all those animated series is kind of like what got me into that realm of pop culture. And then like watching like all those like 90s movies like Terminator, Jurassic Park, The Matrix, just movies just along the line that just kind of like captivated your imagination on like what like the world could be, or like what you could like make it, you know what I mean? When it comes to games, damn, I remember getting my first PlayStation in like the mid 90s,
Mhm.
and like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro and all those games, like the games to play at the time. And I just always like, I'll be honest, like it's really hard for me to game nowadays. Like
Hmm.
I don't know if it's like an attention span thing or if it's just like not into it. But recently I bought an old Xbox, like the first generation of Xbox, and I've been buying and playing those games all over again. And the replayability on some of those games is just like it just not the same like it used to be. Granted, there are things that exist now, like Spider-Man, like the Spider-Man game. You can just play that game as all the time. I'm excited for that Wolverine game that's coming out. I'm considering just
Yeah.
buying like a PS5 just to play that game. I know there's a lot of those Elden Ring style games that are just
Mm.
really fucking hard. I know those are really popular now, but yeah, just basically a lot of stuff from the 90s just I feel like it's kind of making like a comeback right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that a lot of that seeing that like kind of happen for the new generation is actually really cool.
Yeah, it is pretty dope, and I think it's hard to go back and play a lot of those games, and I think that's why they're remastering a lot of these old games, because now that we've gotten to the quality of games that we have now, going back to that is so jarring, and you're like, "I can't do this." You know? It's
There's a
so
couple
different.
games, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
your mind is accustomed to this new quality. So it's like it's almost like trying to go back and like watch old movies at the same time, because there's some like classic movies that are beloved by so many people, but it depends kind of like what got you into movies. Like if stuff like The Matrix and T2 got you into movies, if you're going back to watch like Casablanca, you're gonna be like, what the fuck is this?
Definitely like attention spans have changed because you watch those like
Oh
old
yeah.
movies and you're or even movies from the 70s actually like it's just like completely different, like filmmaking in the 80s completely like changed, you know.
Yeah, it did 100%. And my biggest hot take is I despise a lot of 80s movies because I think they're
Really,
so
yeah,
fucking corny, and the like the
they are
dialogue is
corny.
unbearable, and they're not even like purposely corny. They thought that was cool at the time, and
Yeah,
that's not all of them, but there's a lot of them. Like when I rewatched the OG Predator before like Prey came out years ago, I was like, the dialogue in this movie is like terrible, like so bad.
yeah,
But
it's
I
just
was
like
like,
one liners and all that.
yeah, so bad. But the concept is awesome. The way they used VFX and practical effects for that time is awesome. And the third act is pretty dope. It's it's
Yeah,
it's a good third act. It's not crazy over the top. It's just Arnold fighting this fucking ugly ass monster, and it's awesome.
yeah,
But so it's like I can weigh the two. I can look through it with a modern lens and be like, these parts are awesome, but these parts are awful, and there can be
yeah.
both, and it's fine. Because when I tell people, I was like, yeah, Predator 1's kind of bad, and they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, you cannot tell me and listen to that dialogue and be like, this is good shit. Like, I don't believe you. I'm sorry.
I've been showing my girlfriend the Terminator movies because
Mm,
she's never seen them before. So we watched Terminator 1, and that's 1984, I believe.
yeah.
The quality of that movie, like there's this scene where I think it's like Linda Hamilton, like she's like getting, maybe it's a Terminator that's getting like dragged across like the ground, and you could totally tell like it's like a dummy. And like they like reuse, yeah, they like reuse scenes, and it's just like the same scene like over and over. And
Oh my
there's
god.
something about like the ADR in those movies because
Oh
yeah, it just sounds like so off when it comes to like the actual quality of the film. Like it doesn't sound like right.
it's funny because like I feel like that's like a thing that's not perfected almost ever. You can always tell the difference in TV shows. I can always tell when it's an ADR spot. I'm like, that
Yeah.
audio is different. That audio
And
sounds different than the audio that just happened.
now that we're on the subject of that, I watched this movie the other day. I made a video about it. It's called The Last House, right?
I'm so glad you brought up this movie.
And yeah, it's one of Netflix's like cheap. I always say that Netflix movies are cheap,
Hmm.
and this Last House movie is definitely like an example of it, because I'm 100% sure that this movie was edited, written, and all like the visual effects were done in AI, because everything just seems like so off when you're watching it, especially when it comes to, they probably like didn't like r- do reshoots. They probably just did those reshoots with AI, because there's literally scenes, especially I brought up the little girl in my review. There's scenes where this little girl, like you could tell like where the AI just kind of like takes over, and like her mouth, it just doesn't look natural. It just looks weird.
Hmm. I don't think it's AI. I think people throw around. I'm an anti-AI guy. It's very obvious. I'm a
Mhm,
graphic
mhm.
designer, and I don't think it's. I don't think that stuff is AI. I mean, it's the same people who are like the Sentinels behind Doom in the trailer are AI generated, and I'm like, I think we're cooked as a society of because you can tell when stuff is AI. Like it is
Yeah.
very, very obvious. It's crazy because this one dude, his name's Patrick something. He's become very prevalent on Instagram and TikTok for talking about how films are shot. And he's gotten
Hmm.
such a big following. He talked to Christopher Nolan for the Odyssey and stuff like that. He is very knowledgeable when it comes to like lenses and filters and stuff like that. And he actually complimented this movie on how it was shot, being like streamers are listening because they're starting to shoot movies like actual movies again. I didn't watch the rest of it to see if he talked about the actual movie because the actual movie is like actually so bad. That movie is terrible.
Yeah.
Such a terrible movie, which is
Yeah.
such a bummer because it has Wagner Mora, just got nominated for an Oscar last year, and Greta Lee, who got nominated for an Oscar like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Both incredible actors. And that's kind of what I put on the concept. I knew a little bit about the concept, just a tiny bit, because I've also tried to stop watching trailers for most things. I kind of just want to go into a movie and just experience the movie with like
Mhm.
no idea what the fuck's it about. It's
Yeah.
made me watching movies so much more enjoyable, and I don't know. But anyway, I saw that movie pop up on Netflix. My friend brought up the trailer like weeks ago, and I was like, oh yeah, this is that movie my friend was telling me about. So I put it on, and it just tries too many things while also doing nothing at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And no, definitely, because there's a lot of like, it's kind of like they're like, oh, we need like this cliche or that cliche, or like the little girl wants to become friends with the monster.
A lot of movies have done the thing where it's like, oh yeah, nature or the earth belongs to nature because it created it and stuff like that. And they've done it in interesting ways, but it could also be done very terribly
Mm.
at the same time. And I think this is an obvious example of that. It's just, it's so crazy that Netflix can make a movie like this and a movie like War Machine with Alan Richardson, which was also like fine. It was a fun ride. I'll never watch or think about that movie ever again, other than me bringing it up now. But then they make movies like Train Dreams, and you're like, why can't you make movies like this all the time?
Yeah.
why can't, why
It's
can't you
kind
do
of
that?
a it's kind of a bittersweet thing that they didn't get a hold of Warner Brothers, because I feel like,
Oh, thank God.
yeah, I feel like they would have like cheaped out on the production a lot. I mean, I'm not too crazy about Paramount owning it also, but I feel like it's like two sides of an evil coin.
It seems like a lot of people are against either, so I'm hoping neither happens.
Yeah. I
That's
think
my hope.
I think the whole sale's been paused, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's gotten like denied, I think, by whoever. That stuff's like way above my pay grade, obviously, and
Yeah.
most people's pay grade. But yeah, it seems like it's kind of on hold, which good. I don't want either of them to happen. I think
Yeah.
the only thing that makes me hopeful about it and like trying to think of all of the surrounding things is like trying to think about like what Disney did when they bought like Pixar or Star Wars or Marvel or whatever. For the most part, they bought it to have it and keep it going. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that was my hope for like whoever buys Warner Brothers, they're buying it because they want what's happening currently. Like they had a landmark year for the box office last year with almost all original movies. They had a crazy Oscar run with their studio. HBO is killing it with series right now.
Yeah. Lanterns. Did you watch that?
Oh, dude, how cool is that show so far?
Yeah, it's great. At this point, every DC project is gonna get hate. Like no matter what it is, it's gonna get hate.
I mean, from a certain corner of the internet, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I love that tone. Like I love like the chemistry between, John Stewart and Hal Jordan. I feel like a lot of people that liked Green Lantern because they genuinely liked the comic books, because we haven't really
Hmm.
got like anything like media wise besides that Ryan Reynolds movie. And let's be honest, that one's a doozy. I rewatched that one not too long ago. It's so bad.
I've never watched it and I never plan on it.
Oh, no, no, no. That's like you have to watch that. Actually, after the show's done, go and watch that movie
Oh
so you can
man.
compare the two. Yeah.
Great. I know some people were, I guess, hesitant when the first trailer came out because it was like super grounded and whatever. And then the subsequent trailers after showed more Green Lantern shit. And people were like, oh, okay. I knew the show was going to be good from the moment they announced it because Damon Lindelof and Chris Mundy are part of it. And if you don't know who Damon Lindelof is, he is the guy behind Lost, one of the guys behind Lost. Lost was a pretty big team. The
Lost was
Watchmen
great.
series,
Watchmen series is
Leftover.
great.
He is the king of prestige TV, in my opinion.
Mhm.
He has made some of the best series for HBO and just series in general. And Chris Mundy, he made this little show called Ozark. You may have heard of it. The tone and the chemistry between the two, and Damon Lindelof, he knows how to do a mystery box. Let me tell you, I like how this first episode already had like Invasion of the Body Snatcher vibes to it, which
Mhm.
obviously like the last trailer I think revealed that the Manhunters are going to be involved in this season, which are shape-shifting aliens, so makes
Yeah,
sense.
and the Manhunters are so the Guardians in Green Lantern, they're hella corrupt.
Of
So
course.
the Manhunters was what was before the Green Lanterns, and the Manhunters were created by the Guardians, and
Hmm.
then they switched over to the Green Lanterns, and then there's like this whole debacle. The Manhunters are basically on like a revenge mission to kind of like stick it to the Guardians, and I'm kind of wondering if we'll see the Guardians in this, because I don't know if you've seen them before, but they're like short aliens with like big ass heads.
Really weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like, I really want to see like the different color spectrum, like the different lantern rings. Like, there's like Rage Red,
Yeah.
Hope Blue, which is the big one, which is who Sinestro is supposed to be, is the yellow lanterns. Right now, I think they're setting up Parallax. So Parallax in the comic book was so Hal Jordan, like Coast City, which is basically like California or Seattle, I don't remember. It gets destroyed, and then Hal Jordan's trying to like fix it. So he makes like a green construct of the city, and he goes crazy. He starts killing Green Lanterns and taking their rings, and that's when he becomes Parallax. And then later, it's revealed that it has something to do with these things called the entities, and the entities are basically what like gives each Green Lantern their power. And there's a
Mm.
yellow entity, and that's Parallax. And so Parallax was the villain in the Ryan Reynolds movie. And then it kind of gets into like Blackest Night, and Blackest Night is like a prophecy that has to do with
Yeah.
the entities, and they have to keep them. The whole reason I theorized of why the Guardians don't want people to know about Earth, because in Blackest Night they want to protect Earth because the white entity is there, and the white entity represents life, and the Black Lanterns want to kill the white entity because they just want to like take over the universe and engulf it in darkness. That's like the whole premise of why they want to keep that hidden. So they're kind of
Right.
already setting that up too.
And I'm not like the biggest Green Lantern guy, just as
Mhm.
far as knowledge. I know a little
Yeah.
bit here and there, but as far as like what they're setting up and building like the blocks of like that kind of corner of the world, I think is really cool already in like one episode. And I'm sure we're gonna get a ton more. And I love that we're playing in like basically 3 different time periods. And I've heard from some friends who have seen the first 4 episodes, like the next like 3 kind of all take place in the past. And I just think there's like a lot of cool things they can play with in this series. I'm stoked to see what they do with it entirely.
Yeah.
I know the Guardians or a Guardian will be in the show, but Laura Linney, who was in Ozark, she is going to play a Guardian, but I think they use like a human form to disguise her to talk to people normally. So I don't know if we'll see the Guardians like how they're meant to be seen or whatever. But I know they're in the show for sure, which is cool. And like slight spoiler for the episode because it ends in a very surprising way. I was like, oh, where did the ring go? And I was like, oh yeah, Guy Gardner's the Green Lantern now for Earth.
Yeah. I'm not too sure how this is gonna all play out because like in the comic books, they're like all Green Lanterns. You know what I mean? There's like
Yeah,
5 different Green Lanterns on Earth.
on Earth, yeah.
Uh so now it's like one of those is like how like when Abin Sur died, it just went to hell. So I'm wondering if it's okay, it went to Guy, but maybe it wasn't supposed to go to Guy, it was supposed to go to John.
I
But
had
we'll
that
see what
thought
happens.
too, but I think their rings are different. So I don't know where his ring went. And that's because I was like, oh, did the ring just go to Guy? I had that same exact thought. But I think at the point of where that scene happens, Guy has already been a Green Lantern on Earth for years. So it kind of
Mm,
already breaks the rule of one Green Lantern on Earth or whatever the fuck. We already know Aaron Pierre's returning as John Stewart for Man Tomorrow. I'm pretty sure Nathan Fillion is coming back too, unless they kill
yeah.
him in the series, which I think would be crazy.
No, they won't kill him off. That's James
No, because
Gunn's
he's in,
boy.
they confirmed he's in Mr. Miracle too. It's so wild that he's kind of been like the connective tissue between all of these. He's kind of the one that's showed up in almost all of them. And I'm interested to see his kind of tone play into this. I think it's gonna be awesome because obviously Nathan Fillion, he's a great actor and he can do whatever. It's just cool that I will give, because I think some people are trying to compare DC to where it is to like MCU phase 1. If you think about it, the first movie, Iron Man versus Superman, probably pretty comparable. I think Iron Man's probably a better movie, but I thought Superman was great. And then if you compare the
Mm,
second movies, it's Supergirl versus the Incredible Hulk. And as much as I thought Supergirl was like pretty good, it trumps Incredible Hulk by a lot.
think so.
I just rewatched Incredible Hulk, and that movie is pretty bad. It's a
We're talking
pretty
about
bad movie.
the Edward Norton one, right?
Yeah, pretty bad movie.
Yeah. Uh, that one's kind of a hard little.
I thought the scenes with the Hulk were cool, especially the first scene where he transforms. I was like, there's kind of like Batman vibes to it, which is weird to say, but if you've seen it, you understand what I mean.
Mhm.
But the whole movie is just like action set pieces and weird things to get to that action set pieces. The plot is nonsensical in that movie. The plot is like
Yeah,
borderline dumb in that movie.
the
It's so fucking
interactions
stupid.
the interactions between Edward Norton and Liv Tyler are weird. I'll agree with that.
Yes.
They're really awkward. Yeah.
So weird. I didn't think Supergirl was like incredible, especially I've read the graphic novel and the graphic novel was incredible and
Mm,
it didn't live up to that, which is,
no, definitely
I don't
not.
know if that's an unfair comparison. And that movie also has some of the same things where like Lobo is a plot device. He's not a real character in that movie.
Mm,
And a lot of the things are just setting up to get to the next thing, but they're not all action set pieces. And I think they did a way better job with character, and what they did with Kara is awesome in that movie. And I thought her performance was great, but as an overall movie, it felt like a movie. I just felt like it was a flawed movie. Rather, like the Hulk just feels like action set pieces pieced together with really weird plot beats that don't really make sense.
yeah. I can't remember what his role is in the show, but the guy that wrote Woman of Tomorrow, Tom King,
Yep.
he also is involved in the Lantern show. I think he's like,
Correct.
I don't know if he's a producer or like head writer, but I saw his name in the credits. So
Yep.
we're gonna get kind of like that kind of feel. But I want to pivot to Doomsday, this new trailer that jumped out.
I think this movie is going to be awesome. Do I think it'll be better than Spider-Man Brand New Day? Hesitant, but I think Spider-Man Brand New Day was fantastic. I thought that movie was
Yeah,
incredible.
great.
The hardest thing I think it's going to be to pull off is piecing together all of the things that need to be pieced together in this movie. This movie has a lot of
Mm,
work to do expositionally,
yeah.
and that can be a detriment, but the plus they have is that none of the characters in world know any of this shit. So it can be used as to like, hey, we're telling the audience, especially the audience that maybe hasn't been along the ride since Endgame, and it's telling
Mm,
the characters like, hey, this is what's going on, which I'm hopeful that they'll do in a good, coherent way where it doesn't feel like too much. And hopefully they kind of sparse it out through different kind of interactions rather than just like, here's a fucking huge exposition by Reed Richards or something. Like, hopefully they kind of break
mm,
it up a little bit. I will say, I think the theories around this movie are too much. We need to chill. We
Yeah.
got to chill.
Yeah.
The first trailer,
Um,
Steve Rogers is evil. The second
yeah.
trailer, there's two
Hydra Cap.
Doctor Dooms. Stop.
Oh, you think
Just
so?
stop.
Oh, that's what the theory is, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, I don't think there's two
Or
Doctor
either.
Dooms. The Steve Rogers thing, maybe. I just was watching those trailers and I thought, what if you didn't know who Doctor Doom was? What if
I
we
think
didn't
that's
know that that was
fine.
Robert Downey Jr.? Because like it seems like in the movie, like everyone doesn't know who that is. Like he's not going to
Right.
reveal his face until like later on. But imagine like that shit in the movie theater, and you didn't know that it was going to be Robert Downey Jr. and then just
Right.
explodes. Right, that reveal would be amazing. And that's kind of like I love watching trailers because sometimes the trailers are better than the movie.
Mm.
But there's just some things I wish that we lived in an age kind of like the early 2000s when we didn't know what was going to happen, you know?
Yes.
I think the movie's going to do numbers. I think it's going to be up there. Brand New Day just broke top 10 highest grossing movies of all time. I
Yep.
think it's like
I think higher than that.
I think it's like 9 or 8 or 9 right now. Because last time I checked, when I first checked after that first week, it was at like 30. Then I checked the other day, it was at 10. So it might be
Yep.
going higher than that. It's crazy because like most of those movies in the top 10 are like Disney movies
Yes.
because they
Yep.
own
Yep.
like so much stuff. The whole like pivot from like Kang, I kind of wonder like what would have been because I don't think the hype would have still been there for Kang. Like I don't
No.
think I think the pivot to Doctor Doom is like a good move because when it was first going to be Kang, like I liked Jonathan Majors
Mm.
back then at least. I liked him back then and I was like I don't see like the big supervillain yet. Like him and
Right.
Quantum Mania kind of worked better. Like he was just kind of like he was the villain for that movie, and maybe he'll come back up as like a smaller villain later on. But I mean, we know he's not coming back.
No. And I thought he was a better villain in Loki than he was in Quantumania. He was way more
Yeah,
terrifying and intimidating in Loki than he was in Quantumania, in my
yeah.
opinion.
I don't think they're gonna tie up that loose end. I think that's
I
just
think
gonna
they
be
tied it up in Loki. They said, we're watching over the King variants. None of them are a problem. See ya. We're done.
yeah.
Simple as
See you
you
next
know, some
time.
people are like, man, I really hope they do a scene where Doctor Doom just kills all the King variants. And I was like,
I mean, that would be kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like that would be because like they say like the whole like war, but
yeah,
but it looks like Doom does go to the TVA and
yep,
he does the opening shot of the new trailer shows him on a throne. I wonder if that's like he who remains is like room.
right.
So I
Could be.
wonder if that yeah, I wonder if that does tie it up. But that would mean Loki is kind of done for.
They can't kill him. If they kill him again, I will burn down the theater myself.
Have you ever read Secret Wars, like the latest one that came out?
The Hickman one? Oh yeah, it's my favorite. I have been
Yeah.
streaming Secret Wars since Endgame happened. As soon as they go time travel, I said, Secret Wars is coming. When? I don't
Yeah.
know, but it's gonna happen. They already just set it up. So I've been waiting. I love that comic so much. And they've been very vocal about how the time runs out and the Hickman Secret Wars are big inspirations for Doomsday and Secret Wars for sure.
I think Loki is what's in place of the Beyonder
Yonder, yeah, that would make sense.
because Doom has to get those powers from somewhere unless they introduce the Beyonder in Doomsday, and that's another like big thing to kind of like have some exposition in. So I think Loki's
Yes.
that Beyonder
Yeah.
character. So Doom has to get those powers, and Doctor Strange has to be kind of part of that, and then and the whole like witch and warlock thing. I feel like the Hickman run is definitely like the main thing we're going to be basing it off of, and I think everyone's got to be. I think the X-Men aren't. I think most of the trailer has shown us what happens to the X-Men's universe. I don't think the X-Men are getting past that. I think they're all going to die right there. Yeah,
Maybe. It's hard because me and my friend Ryan have had these like very, I think intense is a strong word, but very like involved conversations about this movie. And he made a very good point, is that anyone who quote unquote dies in this movie probably doesn't die. They probably just end up in Battle World for the next movie.
Mm.
I think they've set things up in a smart way where certain things will be a big factor for both of these movies. You know, like incursions. I think the Void is probably going to be like the blueprint of Battle World. Like he'll build the Battle World on the Void or something like that. And that's probably part of why he goes to the TVA too.
The after, like the Mutant Saga, we just saw them cast all the new X-Men. What do you think of that?
Dude, this is some of the best casting I've seen in something in a really long time. Like a
Yeah,
really long time. I love that the main kind of like core group, all young.
X-Men Evolution kind of vibe. Remember
Oh,
X-Men
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Evolution when they're like all in like high school?
I think casting mostly, I will say, quote unquote, unknown people because they're not like movie stars. The only movie
Mhm.
star they cast was Adam Driver. And I think him as Sinister is awesome. I'm glad he's not playing Magneto. For the love of God, cast a Jewish actor as Magneto. Jesus, it's not that hard. Just do it, please. And
I mean that
Christopher
that is
Abbott,
like his whole thing. Yeah,
I
Christopher Abbott.
know.
That's Xavier, right?
Yes. And I know a lot of
Okay,
people aren't familiar with him. He's married to Aubrey
I'm
Plaza
not.
in
Yeah.
real life. He was in this really awesome body horror movie called Possessor that I think is on
Mhm.
Hulu, or at least it was on Hulu. If you're into weird sci-fi body horror, watch Possessor.
Mhm.
He's incredible in it. He's been in some other stuff too. I think he's actually going to be in a new Netflix movie with Florence Pugh that comes out in a month or a few months or something.
Mhm.
I think that might be one of their kind of like Oscar plays this year, probably, from what it seems. I don't know that much about it other than those few are in the movie, and that screams Oscar to me. So I'm glad they got someone that is, someone unknown for Professor X. He's a great actor. I think he's going to do great. And the team they have behind it, getting Jake Schreier after doing Thunderbolts and having the writers come over from that, which are also writers on these little shows called The Bear and Beef, I think is so awesome. And I think they're going to nail kind of like what the X-Men is. And my biggest thing is that I don't think we've gotten a like true X-Men movie ever. They've been
Correct.
pretty okay mutant movies, but the closest thing we've gotten to an X-Men movie is probably First Class. And even that is kind of like,
Yeah,
sort of an X-Men movie, but
that's like
I
Silver
want to
Age
see
X-Men.
a good like actual X-Men movie. And the way they reference, I'm so glad X-Men 97 happened because it gave them a bar, and it gave them a bar that they at least need to go as good as.
Yeah,
So that I think that's so good. And there's just so much untapped X-Men stuff that hasn't been
dude,
done.
that comic ran with what since 74,
Yeah.
76 of that original team, and there's so much like story to that. Chris Claremont wrote X-Men for like 40 years. I'm probably wrong. It's probably an exaggeration, but like he did it for a very long time. And there's so
Long time.
many like I tried to collect Uncanny X-Men. Let me tell
Oh my
you, it's
god.
so overwhelmingly, there's so many issues. It's like Amazing Spider-Man. Like those two like were so long. Once you get below anything under 100, like the issue 100 and below, like you're paying
Mm,
like money for all that shit, you know?
yeah.
But it's so people have asked me before, like, how do I get into X-Men? And I look at them like, you just like find a spot and just kind of go with it. I started with House of M. That
Mm,
story in like the early 2000s, I started with that.
so
And
good.
you're still like missing stuff. And then
Yes.
I recently read Avengers versus X-Men because that's what they say like this phase is going to end up at. And so there's like so much stuff that has to happen to get to Avengers versus X-Men.
Yeah.
So I just there's just so much potential for stories, and I hope they don't get there too quick. You know what I mean? The coolest thing about Avengers versus X-Men was how Cyclops eventually becomes the villain. Like
Mm,
he goes from like the leader to becoming like an extremist because of
yes.
the mutant population has basically gotten wiped out. And with the whole stuff with the Phoenix, he's like obsessed with it, and he's like telling the Avengers like, you know what, like I'm gonna take care of my people. Like, don't worry about what we're doing. And like, it's kind of like They're like, no, Scott, like you got to do it like this, and he's like, fuck you, and that's when he like starts like that. I want per se like war against the Avengers, and I'm like, man, that evolution of that Cyclops, if we get to see that on film, it'll be crazy good.
Yeah, Militant Cyclops is fucking awesome.
I think,
Because
as much as I like Wolverine, Cyclops, I feel is like an underrated badass.
oh, dude, for sure. And I think X-Men 97 has done wonders for that character, especially
Mm,
like after he kind of got nerfed in the Fox movies, for sure. I'm so stoked to see him be a leading guy, like a leader of the X-Men. I'm so stoked. Like, we don't need any more Wolverine and the Mutants movies anymore. Like,
yeah,
Hugh Jackman, great as Wolverine, but Wolverine is not a main X-Men. Like, he is, but like he's a side guy. He's not.
yeah.
He shouldn't be the
Well, he didn't get introduced for a
focus.
while. Yeah,
So I think they're going to wait on him, and I think they should. I think they
I
should
I
wait on
heard
him.
the team was going to be Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, who that actor dropped out. We never know, probably never know
Reportedly,
why. Yeah,
reportedly,
I-
not confirmed.
Iceman and Angel.
The OG,
That
the
was
OG.
yeah, that was like the OG team. So it kind of makes sense if Angel's part of it because of like Sinister and then everything that has to do with Apocalypse. But I think like Rogue and Emma Frost, and I think those, because they said that when it takes place in the school, there's going to be like characters that are there that won't have like a role like later on to like later on.
Yeah, I think they might
I,
do the whole Emma Frost origin thing too, where she is either a teacher at that school or has her own school, and then it gets wiped out, and that's when she becomes like a villain. Uh, and I'm interested to see if Rogue starts off as a villain too, or
I'm
not like
interested
a
to see if
villain.
she. I'm interested to see if she takes Captain Marvel's power
I would love it.
because that's how she gets like the flying powers and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Which, on the subject of Captain Marvel, they didn't put the Marvels in the watch list for Avengers Doomsday.
I made a watch list also, but it didn't include stuff pre Endgame. It was for people who fell off after Endgame, and I only included the post credit scene because the events of the movie don't matter. The post
True.
credit scene matters, and you can watch that without any context. Really, they explain it all in the scene. I also didn't include Brand New Day on mine. I don't think you need it.
No, that's more like the beginning of the mutant saga.
Yeah, I guess with adamantium, but like you could just explain that in anything.
Yeah.
It's not
Well,
really
Gene also. Yeah.
weird. Oh, I meant Brand New World, not Brand New Day.
Oh, Brand New World. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I forgot that was in there. The adamantium thing.
Yeah,
I totally forgot. Dude, I only watched that movie once, and I thought it was.
same.
I don't. I don't think I'll revisit it. Poor
Probably
Anthony
not.
Mackie.
He deserves a better movie than that because I think he's a
Way
great
better.
Captain America. I think he's a great Sam Wilson. I think he's awesome. I'm so happy. He's obviously going to be a lead in Doomsday, and I'm interested to see how the whole Avengers versus New Avengers debacle gets ironed out. Obviously, they're going to make up quick and figure whatever the fuck out because two other universes are colliding with theirs, so they kind of need to put small things like that aside. But I'm excited to see like all the different kind of combinations and all of that stuff. Brand New Day is obviously very important for what's coming next, and just an incredible Spider-Man movie, and does wonders for the Spider-Man character. But even if he shows up, and I'm sure he's going to show up in Secret Wars, I'm uncertain if he's going to be in Doomsday, but I don't think you'll need that movie to understand what's going on, at all.
Black Suit is coming.
I definitely think it's going to happen in Secret Wars, 1,000%,
Yeah,
for
definitely.
sure, which is awesome.
And now
Fuck you.
I heard a theory that this Venom won't be. I don't like playing with scissors. I had a theory that like that this Venom won't be Eddie Brock. It'll be Scorpion. And that's
Fuck yeah.
happened before in the comics. Yeah.
Yes.
I think I can't really be sure if they like Venom 3 kind of like had like that weird thing where that general dude like got that little piece of Venom, like the little piece of the symbiote, he like puts it in a jar. It was just like a really weird retcon that movie did.
That happened in Tom Hardy's universe, not the MCU.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's just like weird. Like like why even put that in it if it wasn't in if that little thing happened in the other universe? Like
The
just
movie
didn't make
is
any sense to me.
Also dumb. The dumbest Venom movie that there could have ever been.
The dance scene, bro. Oh my
I,
god. They did Venom so dirty.
It is what it is. That movie happened, and now it's over. And if Tom Hardy's Venom shows up in Secret Wars for like a scene, cool. If not, don't care either. That's, let it stay dead. I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. If there's anything I want to see done justice, it's the X-Men, the symbiotes, and I'll even throw in like the Inhumans, because the Inhumans are kind of like forgotten about, but I don't think they're ever bringing them back.
They're too close to X-Men. Like as far as like conceptually to like a normal person, if you explain them, they're the same.
Yeah.
You know,
Only I
they were
think
born with a gene, and the gene gets awakened, except for this one, half of them live on the moon and it gets awakened and they become a crystal and they break out of the crystal and they have powers.
yeah. I think there was like a thing with, what is it called, the Terrigen Mist, something like
Oh yeah,
that.
the
It's like what
Terrigen
it's
Mist.
yeah, yeah. It's, I don't know. They had him in Multiverse of Madness, and I was like, it's like one of those moments where like, all right, cool. Like we never have to revisit that again, but cool.
If you want any Inhuman stuff that's done as good as it can be in media that's happened, watch the Agents of Field arc. They do it way better in that. Don't even bother with the Inhumans TV show. They do it better in Agents of Field. And if you have time to watch a 7 season or 8 season, how many seasons that is?
Yeah, the show was on for a while.
Yeah, and if you want like a cool Marvel show that's kind of does everything and goes all over the fucking place, watch Agents of Shield. It's pretty great. Not everything makes sense, but they do some great character work. And
Wasn't Ghost Rider on that too?
Yeah, Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. Awesome version of
Yeah.
Ghost Rider, in my opinion. Also,
He drives like the Mustang, right? Or that muscle car. Oh yeah, that guy was sick.
So sick. He gets, there's a whole arc with the Darkhold in that, and he does make a sling ring portals with his chain, which is also sick.
Dude, Ghost Rider is OP. Like,
Yeah,
if once you really start getting into like his powers and like everything that he's done in the MCU, like, and Ryan Gosling's gonna be playing him, like that yeah, like that just brings like a whole new like level of powers into the MCU. Maybe we'll even get Blade in his projects. Poor Blade.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's kind of setting the, not only introducing Ghost Rider, but it kind of is going to like set off that corner of like weird dark magic shit. And we can get Blade and Moon Knight back, and maybe they'll do a Midnight Suns movie. Maybe we'll see.
The werewolf, dude. Like that was like one of the best things they did. Yeah. So I wish they would do like another like Halloween special for that. Like they just kind of like left that.
Yeah, it's I think they're kind of recontextualizing things and refiguring things out. What does that mean for the future? I have no fucking idea, but I guess we'll see. But dude, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for coming back on. Dude. Always happy to chat nerd stuff with you.
Yeah, dude, it's like my favorite thing to talk about. I talk my girlfriend Zero about it every single day.
Dude, yeah, same. But Sam does not give a fuck about it usually. She did love Brand New Day though, which says a lot, because she doesn't love
that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Yeah. That's all that matters. But before we get out here, Ian, please let the people know what you got going on, where they can find you.
Follow me at _ Ian Parra on across all social media. More active on Instagram more than anything. Right now I'm cooking up some like Halloween stuff. I just got to figure out when Halloween starts nowadays, because apparently it's today, right? But yeah, follow me. I like to talk about a bunch of nerd stuff and just see what comes up. I would like to say I'm finally going to get to go on the new Fast and the Furious ride on Friday, so trying to make a video for that too. Yeah,
that coaster looks sick.
It looks sick, and I got a buddy that works on it, and he said that Christopher Nolan went on it yesterday, and he had to like strap Christopher Nolan in.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, imagine that pressure, dude. Like you're just fuck.
Too much pressure. Too much pressure for one human to handle, for sure. Awesome. And if you don't already, I'll make sure and link Ian's stuff down below so you can go follow him. Go check out his stuff. He makes very funny videos, and the comments are at least worth the price of admission, which the price of admission is free. Just hitting the follow button. Really easy. It's really easy. If you want to support the podcast, metalcorners.com. Our links are there in one easy place. If you want to follow me on my personal account, it's just at SeanXMod on Instagram and Twitter. Until next time, see you later, nerds.
See you guys.